I was able to take a program with them. I did project management. Of course, I was already working in project back in my country. So I was privileged to be among 23 international immigrants. I think we had 2 Nigerians. We had some people from China, Japanese, Colombians. We were about 23. So I attended that program with Toronto University.
Okay.
So I did that. I did business communication, precisely. It was business communication for international IT professionals. Okay. So at that point, I knew I needed to connect myself with a network if I intend to go to achieve my dream.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I joined that network. I was in that program. Thankfully, that program was paid for me by the government, and also part of what I did during that program was take another course in project management. Then I also participated in the kind of capstone project to give me those basic experience. So I had this capstone project with Mednovation. Mednovation is a medical company who they were trying to disrupt technology at the time. If I say disrupt technology, I mean they wanted to bring new innovation to technology where they could use phone to diagnose rash and body ailments, broken skin and stuff like that, so that it introduces your contact with medical doctors and personnel. So I was fortunate, I was privileged. God directed me, I was part of that project. So after that project, I remember the director of that company, Mednovation, gave me a recommendation.
Wow.
So I got a recommendation for a job well done. I was very, very active in that. So part of it is you should be able to network. So while I was in that program, I remember I had this professor from South Africa. He's a lecturer with Toronto University. He was a lead consultant for that program.
Okay.
So I had that relationship too. I asked questions. What do I need to do? This is what I need to do, my career. So they helped me. That agency also helped me structure my resume. They organized a couple of interviews with companies like BMO. I know I had interview with the 3 big banks then. My intention then was not to really start working as a banker because I didn't want to even work in the bank because
you already had it.
That 10 years experience, so I didn't want to go back to finance. So I was just focused, okay, I want to go into IT. I think that should be the best bet because the last 8 years of my career in Nigeria before I left, I was actually working in the IT department as an information management consultant. So I thought I should just be focused. But again, it doesn't just come easy.
Like that.
So you could see what I did. And after that program, of course, you're not going to jump into any company and they accept you. Yes, I have all the credentials. I have all the required credentials. I've already evaluated my credentials. They were, of course, equivalent to what we have here was obtainable in Canada. But that is still not enough. You need to integrate yourself more. You need to learn the system. Of course, the school was part of learning the system. But I went beyond that. Okay, I connected myself with people, the Canadians.
So,
yes.
Sorry to cut you, sir. Some things are resonating with me. Information is key. You need to get information on how to get all these resources to be able to integrate yourself. And then when you get that information, you take the step. You go to school. You attend courses or programs because you need both the academic Canadian experience in terms of school and in terms of workplace. And one of the ways to get it is volunteering, because again, we know that in Canada, volunteering is key to any work, any workplace or any system at all. You see, you're saying something that people who want to just get going and then they just get it. But look at the step that you have taken. Even after having a very solid background, coming from a very solid background, whether finance, whether IT, whatever, you already have the experience, but you have to come back to go through their own system here to rise again.
I did that. I didn't just stop there. Again, why networking is good? Why I joined that networking group in Ontario. It's an Ontario network group for professionals coming from Nigeria. In that group, I have people right now who came in, who were regional managers already in the bank in Nigeria. And they didn't get job immediately. So they were they were all part of my inspiration. And anytime I see any successful testimony, I reach out to them.
Great.
I reach out to them. I celebrate with them. After celebrating with them, oh boy, can you show me the way?
What kind of jobs have you done?
My first job was to take my kids to school, first of all.
Okay.
My wife was working and also going to school in Toronto. That was my first job. Take your kids to school and bring them back. Then the second job was I quickly took a course in security. Okay, at some point, yeah, I worked as a security. That doesn't matter to me. I go to there's this big Coca-Cola Coliseum in Toronto when they are hosting this WWE wrestling. At one point, I was there watching this wrestler when they came to Canada. You know, I was proud of the job. I wore my security uniform. I would just pose. So anytime any of the wrestlers are passing by, I would just like, you know, it was just fun to me. I didn't lose my focus. I had my focus on my dream. It's always there. But you can do every other thing around that. Make sure you are building towards your dream.
Yes.
Remember, that's one of the tools. Doing volunteering, taking up jobs, no matter how many of that job is, as long as that job is not going to kill you. You know, have make sure you have safety at the back of your mind, even as you are taking up those jobs. Because remember, you are coming in, you know,
your age has gone up.
Exactly. So you have to always have that safety at the back of your mind, even when you are taking those jobs.
Because some people would say, I cannot do factory work.
I didn't lose focus. As I was doing that, I was building myself. I was taking courses.
Other kind of work too.
Yeah. Again, maybe I should go into that. Maybe that would be helpful to whoever. Coming to Canada, I remember you said somebody talked about your kind. Yes. The first thing I did when we landed was to look for a local church. That is my belief. I knew I could find my kind in a local church. My family was part of my priority.
Yeah.
They were part of the reasons I moved here. So I was trying not to be too selfish. That is another thing people should learn to do. When you are creating those expectations, when you are prioritizing those expectations, you are making a list of those expectations. Your family should be at the top of that list. You know why? If you include them in your priority list, it reduces the pressure on you. Remember, whatever you try to do is for your family, so to speak. It's easy for us to say, oh, I didn't want to come to Canada. I just came because of my family. Yes.
It's not just about that.
If it's really true, you came because of your family, then why are you putting so much pressure on yourself? When the same family is not complaining, why don't you look at that family and let that be the motivation? So at least, out of a 100% goal I set for myself, bringing my family here already gave me 60%. That should be satisfying. So sometimes I do think about that. So, okay, at the early stage, when early times in Canada, early years, when it was looking like a little bit difficult getting a job, I always think back. I say, oh, my children are here, my wife, everybody else. So who am I working for? It's not them, and they are not complaining. Oh, okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Now coming into Sudbury, I searched for glad tidings. I moved into Sudbury on a Saturday night. On a Sunday morning, myself and my wife, my children, let's go to church.
So what you don't know is that Mr. Kelly was also on the election committee in two administration ago, right? Yes. Not this last one.
No, not this last one.
The last one.
The Toyin's administration.
Toyin's administration. You were the one that. Please tell us about your experience on this.
Yeah, I was.
It was a volunteer one.
Yeah, it's a volunteer one.
The INEC of.
Yeah, I was the INEC of the time. That was 2021, 2022. Yeah, so I was called upon by the then president, Mr. Adejare. And I was called upon by Mr. Adejare and Toyin to come and so I answered the clarion call. You know, I was glad to participate in that, to serve with that committee, the election committee for that year. And part of the team was our late friend and brother, Justice, Mr. Justice, may he so rest in peace.
Amen.
We managed that era together. We managed to put together that election that brought in the ESCO before the current ESCO. So I've also tried to volunteer, add my quota in terms of services and volunteering with the Nigerian community. So I will encourage us. It's not really all about work, because I hear some people say, oh, Nigerian community, I don't have anything to do with them. No man can survive as an island. no tree
tell them.
survives alone. Yeah, you may have your concerns, you may have your reservations, but again, I think you should be selfish about your goals. You should be selfish about your expectations. You should be selfish about your dreams. So the way I see it, there is no association, there is no union, there is no family without concerns, squabbles. Things happen. But again, you should know what you are looking for. That was why earlier I said, look for a floater, not a drag. So if you go into any association, it's your responsibility to identify who to tangle with. Association is close to, just like you're in Canada, it's a multicultural environment, hundreds, thousands, millions of people. So you should be able to find your feet, look for your like I said, look for your kinds. So when you join an association, it's going to help you. It's going to help you build a base. It's going to help you learn new things more easily. You're going to be able to connect with people to share their experience. People were here before you. So there's a lot of advantage that the Nigerian association brings, just like every other association. I was just telling you a couple of weeks ago, there's this Vietnamese, the Vietnamese national, the association. I was surprised they sent an invitation to me. They wanted me to grant, kind of interview. I said, oh, for what? They said they have a news bulletin for Vietnamese community that they just feel that my story might inspire them. They want me to be part of it. I was like, oh, okay, that's fine. So I granted them that interview, and I think in their bulletin they just put it there with my picture boldly and stuff like that. I was so ashamed. I was like, now you see an Asian asking me to. So we even have a bigger community. Trust me. We have a bigger community than the Vietnamese community. I would say we have more experienced people. We have very smart people. Nigerians are smart.
Goodness.
I meet with people. I think we are extremely smart. But again, what we just need is just connection, togetherness. Let's not work in disjointed. Let's work in collaboration. So I enjoyed being part of the Nigerian community. My role as a committee, part of a committee member for the election team. And again, currently I'm part of the BOT, the Board of Trustees for Nigerian community. It's a privilege for me to serve. When I was called upon, when I was nominated, I was like, okay, let me think about it. I'm always busy. Sometimes I'm not around. If I say I'm busy, I mean to my kids. It's not like I'm really busy like Doug Ford or Trudeau. No, it's just attention from I always want to place them side by side. So when I checked that it wasn't going to, it's not much to do. I had that discussion with those that nominated me. I think I'm happy to be part of the Nigerian community.
Wow.
It's good. Wow. It's nice. It's going to help you build. It's going to help you create that relationship. It's going to take away some forms of mental health. Trust me. Because you network people, you meet people like minds, you share stories, you have drinks together. It's not really all about getting that top job you left behind.
It's not.
Meeting people. Now, I always ask people, what is your priority? Your priority for coming to Canada is your family. And who is that family? Are they not your kids? Is it not your wife or your husband? If you're a single parent, is it not your kids? So which other priority are you looking at that wants to make you become Elon Musk in 2 months? No. Sometimes I find it funny. If I can put food on the table for my children, that's adequate for us to eat and pay our bills, I think I'm happy.
Absolutely.
It's contentment. Now, by the time you begin to think of people back home, you are putting more pressures on your shoulder. That is what drives some people into mental, because you begin to compare yourself. Oh, look at the person that went to the other country the other day. He has built this house in Nigeria. Has done this. I want to be where I was before.
Oh my God.
See, you are already, we've gone past like 30, 40, 50. What do you want to do?
What again do you want?
Just take it easy, be contented, and manage your expectations, because your wife is your biggest, your wife and your children. They're your best friends. And they should be your biggest achievement as far as I'm concerned. Catering for them, providing for them should be a very huge achievement. And if you're able to achieve that, why are you so anxious? For me, that is my space. I always go into that space. Anytime I'm feeling overwhelmed, anytime I feel that there's need to close that gap, I always go back into that space to make myself comfortable. Anytime I think of the fact that my kids are here, my wife is here, I'm providing for them, I'm okay. So it gives me that level of comfort. That's where I go hide myself anytime I'm getting overwhelmed. Join the Nigerian community, join the social group, not necessarily Nigerian community, there are lots of other communities, other social groups. If you have opportunity, join them. Go to activities. If it doesn't require too much money,
make
yourself available to other international multicultural social groups that we have here, organizations, be part of them. It helps a lot. It helps, and it creates a wider drag net for you. By the time it's like you are, hunting for fish. You spread your net. Don't limit yourself to just Nigerian community. Look for other organizations, local organizations, join them. If La Pointe or any of the politicians are having anything to do, just show up, listen to them, have a conversation. It helps a lot. That is all I can say for now.
Wow, it has been such an exciting time with Mr. Kelly. There's some things that he said that I just wanted to, I just want to read them out. He said, set realistic goals. He said, change your mindset, reorientate yourself. And he said, manage your expectation. Manage your expectation. In everything that you do, manage your expectation. He said, be ready to start from the scratch, especially for you men. Be ready, anybody, in fact, be ready to start from, as long as God has given you health and breath in your lungs, be ready to start from the scratch. Then he said, network, keep your circle, create a network for yourself, build yourself, find your niche, find your kind. Don't stay aloof. Don't go together with people who will drag you down. Look for floaters, people who will help you float in life and keep you above the waters. He has said so many things, and I hope you have learned a lot. So with this, I say thank you, Mr. Kelly. Thank you so much. And keep staying connected. Keep staying inspired, motivated, and empowered on True Perspective. Till I see you next time, God bless you.